want to say, I'm going to represent the Friends. And what everybody has seen is what we saw 40 years ago when I first met you. And, well, a little more than 40 years ago. But, and that's just that we always said, I mean, as long as I can remember, that when we grew up, we wanted to be as good grandparents as you and Tiny. Everybody said that. And I've told this story many times, but I remember Karen crying because she had to go home after a weekend at your house. She didn't want to go. And it happened more than once. And another thing that I think that I want to say that touches me is that most of you know that I think it was important for Karen to have a daughter, or at least wanted to have a daughter. And when she found out that wasn't going to happen, you said to her, just think, I know how you feel. I wanted one too. But if I had one, I wouldn't have had Stuart. And he's wonderful. And I think that's just how you think. And that's why everybody loves you so much.
Your wife is unbelievable. I came home from Houston when I had my first cancer, and she came over every day to exercise me. Where is Kathy?
Right behind you. And Ruthie, I thank you for pickled tongue sandwiches. I look forward to that when we went to Chelan. I'd be at the door. Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet?
Right.
Pickled tongue, the best.
I have a little something to say to you. Dear Ruthie, you became part of our lives when Stuart did. From that moment on, we have admired you, appreciated you, and loved you. Stuart was all Barbara could talk about when we were about to be college freshmen, and I started dating Bobby when we were juniors. That's when Barbara and Stuart and Bobby and I started doing so many things together. We recall spending many hours around yours and Tiny's home after that. When Bobby and I would walk into your home, it seemed as though we were there very often. You always welcomed us warmly. In all the years we came for visits, we would just walk in, no knocking, through the back door, just like family. We always felt very much at home. Do you remember the time when Barbara, Stuart, Bobby, and I had a sleepover in your backyard? As the years went on, David and Leslie were privileged to share many times in your backyard, at home, your home with Karen and Scott, running around, swimming in your pool, barbecuing, and making memories. Don't you think it's amazing that so many years later, before you sold your home, David and Ann and Grant stayed there while they were remodeling their house? My mom has always been a fantastic entertainer. She would potchkey around for weeks making lists, looking through a recipe file and cookbooks and creating very lovely parties. But it was you who taught me about the ease of entertaining simply, beautifully, and deliciously. You always used the freshest ingredients, including herbs from your garden pots. It was clear you enjoyed entertaining for your family and the friends who you were so close to. And you always seemed to do that so effortlessly. I think Barbara said that earlier. It was always evident to us that you and Tiny were so lucky to have such a close-knit group of friends who loved being together. As you know, we are fortunate to be in a similar situation with friends that we love. We think in large part you were role models for Stuart and Barbara, and who also had that with her parents, and for Bobby and me too. Knitting is another talent you made seem so effortless. You knitted gorgeous and cozy blankets for each of our grandchildren when they were born. What was especially cool about that was the fact that you made us feel like we were doing you a favor by letting you knit them for us. So that was pretty cool. You were the envy of many of us when you used to babysit for Karen and Scott when Barbara and Stuart would go out of town. You would move into their home to be sure the kids' daily routine was not disturbed. While you were with them, you would spend time with them in the kitchen, teaching them to make the wonderful goodies you were famous for. We noticed and we learned. So Ruthie, as a parent a grandparent, and a friend. You've been an inspiration to us since we have known you. We wish you the happiest of birthdays today on your 90th birthday, and many, many, many more years of good health and much joy.